Okay. Now the reason this is this, like we said, this is going to catch the dust. Okay, and this isn't going to ignite until it's full and trapped against the red hot drill. So what we need is it as wide as possible and still catch the dust at the end here. Yet, and as wide as possible where it meets the pilot hole and still traps the drill. See, you want it where it enters the pilot hole here to be as wide as possible and still hold the drill. If it's too wide, the drill will just pop out. Where it exits the pilot hole, you want it to be as wide as possible but still catch dust. So the ratio we've come to for that is as wide as the pilot hole, or the drill where it exits the board, and half as wide as the pilot hole where it enters the pilot hole. If you start to carve it, it can widen out a little wider where it meets the drill as you're drilling, but if you carve it out wider than that, it'll have a tendency to pop out. Now let's go ahead and talk about the bow, and then we'll tell you more about these dimensions. Now the bow should be thick enough to not break and not much thicker. It should be arced enough to give you about 3-inch gap between the string and the stick, and it should be 16 to 24 inches long depending on your height. And here's the reason why. Now, your stroke should be optimized. The reason you want your bow to be 18 to 24 inches is so you can successfully go from tip to tip with your stroke. Once you get started going, go tip to tip, as close as you can to tip. See that? That means for more RPMs, okay, more rotations per minute. People make bows this long, yet they only bow this much. So what is all that extra bow doing? That's getting in the way. When you're in a sterile environment like this training tent here, you have this flattened area, it's okay. Well, that long drill is going to hit the ground and get into all kinds of trouble, or the long bow anyway, if it's too long. Also, it's excess weight and it's unwieldy. You only need as much bow as you need. 18 to 24 inches. This also gives someone room to jump on the other side and help you out. Now your handhold doesn't matter. In the field it's going to be a piece of green wood. It can't be dead wood because it'll grind into the top. Cut yourself a piece of green wood, dig you out a groove, you'll be great. That's like you'll see here. Now what I have is a natural piece of basalt that occurs all across the world from lava. It has these holes naturally formed. Now what you can also do is find a sedimentary stone, something like a sandstone. This is volcanic ash, and this can actually be carved out with a harder stone, or like a Swiss Army knife, the can opener attachment, things like that. You can carve it out to fit in your drill. Okay, an emergency, green wood. If you can find it, sedimentary stone, or a basalt type stone, a natural porous stone that the drill can fit in. These stones work a lot better. There's less friction up here. They slide very smoothly on it, and they're your best bet. If you're by a rocky beach, these form very naturally as well. So you can see there's a very scientific reason for the dimensions of all of this kit, okay? For the posture, to maximize your body mechanics, to maximize your body weight. This is all to maximize the mechanical advantage of your kit, okay? You make the drill these dimensions. You make the baseboard these dimensions. You make your bow these dimensions for the maximum mechanical advantage, for maximum rotations per minute, for maximum coal buildup, for maximum heat, for maximum dust production. Okay, now when it comes to tinder, in the field, any tree bark, sorry, we shot this as the sun was setting, which shreds and bends like hair and does not crumble like potato chips, bark that peels off in strips can be used as fire tinder. It doesn't matter the species. Any plant that produces cordage, when those fibers are dead and dry, is also a fire tinder. Okay, see, this is from a plant cordage. Now for more on plant cordages, you can watch our DVD, Off the Land, which is also available on our YouTube video channel, free of charge. Now the reason we select bark and cordage tinders, there's others, but these are the best and these are all over the world, is because they produce the cigar effect. They'll accept that ember and smolder and smolder and smolder until they produce open flame. Now, if it's really, really dry and tightly packed, perhaps if with a large ember you can get away with grass and leaves. However, they don't smolder. They don't produce the cigar effect. They light or not. Okay, and you have a chance of losing that hard-earned coal if you don't use a specialized tinder like shreddable barks and dead plant cordages, dried plant cordage fibers, which produce a cigar effect, which will accept your ember and with as little as encouragement as possible, encouragement I mean blowing on it, squeezing around it, produce an open flame. Now, in this next section of video, we're going to take you out in the field. We're going to harvest a bow and drill from scratch. We're going to teach you where to look, what to choose, and why to choose it, how it's not species dependent, so no matter where you are watching this video, you too can successfully produce a bow and drill friction fire maker.